Chapter 12. Various Addictions. This is for all of us that think we are just fine. Addictions are of many fields of life. Addictions are set to hold you captive. This is why we need to overcome this obstacle. Addict means a person with a strong habit with a drug. Habit means involuntary pattern of behavior acquired by frequent repetition. Habit synonyms: usage, routine, compulsion, use, want, addictions. Jeremiah 13:23 says, "Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good, that are accustomed to do evil." Jeremiah 22:21 says, "I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou saidst, I will not hear. This has been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyest not my voice." Micah 2:1 says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." It means you are a workaholic. When someone always puts work first, work always comes before food, family, and their own life. Deuteronomy 4:9 says, "Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons." Psalms 22:6 says, "But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people." Here are some things that are the parent's job concerning addictions. Teach. Deuteronomy 6:7 says, "And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up." Train. Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Provide for. 2 Corinthians 12:14 says, "Behold, the third time I am ready to come to you, and I will not be burdensome to you. For I seek not yours, but you. For the children ought not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children." To nurture. Ephesians 6:4 says, "And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord." To control. 1 Timothy 3:4 says, "One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity." To love. Titus 2:4 says, "That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children." Husbands' responsibilities. Ephesians 5:25 says, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it." 1 Peter 3:7 says, "Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers not be hindered." Wives' responsibilities. Ephesians 5:22 says, "Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands, as unto the Lord." 1 Timothy 3:11 says, "Even so must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things." 1 Peter 3:1 says, "Likewise, ye wives, be in the subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives." The home is very important for our attention. 2 Corinthians 7:1 says, "Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God." Different addictions may be smoking, drinking caffeine, and drugs. There has been health drugs, prescription drugs, and over-the-counter energy pills. There was a time I played sports in school. A few people were taking an over-the-counter energy pill. A close friend was taking twice what was indicated on the bottle. One day we were playing basketball and he fell on the ground at age 16 and died of a heart attack. 1 Corinthians 3:16 says, Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? 1 Corinthians 6:19 says, What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? 2 Corinthians 6:16 says, And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. As God hath said, I dwell in them, and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Another great addiction is computers and/or internet. Some people have 4 or more email addresses that take all of their time. Just to check 4 emails can take hours. There's even more time. Searching, downloading, and updating are a great amount of time. I exclude anyone who does computer internet work for God. Check out this suggested logout. Check this suggested logout. 8 a.m., get up. 8:15 a.m., check emails. 9 a.m., get ready for work. Go to work. 5 p.m., get home. 6 p.m., supper. 7 p.m., check email and more. 10 p.m., go to bed. If this chart is even close, you are addicted. It's about time to let God set you free. Psalms 69:13 says, But as for me, my prayer unto thee, O Lord, is an acceptable time. O God, in the multitude of thy mercy, hear me, in the truth of thy salvation. Isaiah 49:8 says, Thus saith the Lord, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in a day of salvation have I helped thee, and I will preserve thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritages. Any time that I have spent any amount of time doing something, God has brought me to correction. I played games on the computer more than I should have. There was a time I had to watch every baseball, basketball, football, and hockey game of my favorite team. Something to keep in mind is, as long as what you do does not take away from God, it may be okay. To him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not, to him it is sin. God will show you what is right in your life. You have to decide to have God in his fullness or the addictions. The more we receive of God, the more that is required. You can overcome any and all addictions.